Hey guys, it's Luis again. This is my third video, I believe, on the channel now. Um, I was trying to actually get something recorded, like Sunday, and even uploaded on that same day, but I was just running through a lot of stress. Sorry about my hair, a little messed up, but yeah, I was really trying to fit in a video, and I was just, with my family. I just decided to take the day off, and it was Super Bowl Sunday. So, but going to try to honestly like upload 2 videos a week. It's a little bit of an ask, but I mean, I'm just trying to just blog everything that I'm doing, honestly. Um, so yeah, if you guys are enjoying and want to follow the channel, feel free to subscribe. Uh, very much appreciate it. So I believe I'm also here at work, so yeah. Um so yeah, I believe where I left off on my last video was basically my work and education, and how schools I went to, jobs I was at. And so this one I wanted to kind of basically go off from that, and carry on to what led me to where I am now, which is how I got unemployed now. The last job that I was at was a engineering firm, um, mainly for the surveying branch that I knew nothing about prior before getting the job, and now I know a lot. But yeah, at the time I didn't know anything, and I was at that job. The job was called or the company that I worked at was called KPFF, and um, it was a good company as a whole. It's a good starting company. Don't get me wrong, but as you stay there, uh, it's just very hard to grow, I would say, for me. And honestly, as a whole, I just never really liked engineering. Um, and I will go on another video talking about why I even chose engineering. Um, so, just taking this time day by day. So, yeah, I didn't really like engineering, but I stuck with it and give it an actual try. And so, yeah, I was at this company, KPFF. Started off working in the office, and the job prior for that, I was working in the field. So this was a bit of a change of environment. Stayed there for probably a good year in the office, and up to like last August. And I just didn't like the office because at least the environment that I was in, it was so pressurizing. We had two bosses at the time, and one of the bosses, boss number two. I'll put it like that: boss one and boss two. Boss number two, I was under him, and he was very I don't know, man. That guy like was always like he was shaking, always like anxious. Wanted everything fast, and it just put a lot of pressure on me. Not only because I needed to finish the jobs, but I had to learn quick. So there was that. And yeah, so after a while, I just didn't like it. Put in a request to work out in the field, and out in the field you have a party chief and you have a chainman, and I was going to be a chainman, um, for surveying, and he accepted it, and they asked me why, and I just told him it's just not for me, the office, and it's not that it's not for me. It's just I just didn't like the environment, and so yeah, so boss number two talked with boss number one. They agreed, and then they put me out on the field, under a party chief, and yeah, that happened in last August of 2023. And so yeah, the party chief that I had, um, he was cool. At least I thought he was cool. Um, and so what ended up happening is my first 2 months as a chainman. He was like he was strict, man. He was strict, always like straight off the bat said, "You want to work with me? That's fine, but you got to be on your A game, be on time, no on your phone. Um, don't be distracted. Be in your work. Always be prepared, basically." So he was like, straight up like strict and wanted the best, everything. He expected everything. And so it was kind of like I had to hold his hand in certain ways. So there was that. So yeah, the first 2 months, I was getting to know the ropes. And in those 2 months, actually, boss number two um, quit his job. Um, I guess he just was dealing under too much stress with that company. Um, that's what I heard. Not too sure. I think others said that he had a girlfriend that she was moving, and he wanted to go with her. So I don't know. But point is, he left out the picture, so it was just boss number one left, and he was pretty stressed out because now he had to take like a whole load of work. Um, so I can see that. But anyway, onto my scene where I'm out on the field, and this time I don't have that boss number two. It's just boss one, and still Hector. That was my party chief's name, Hector. He would basically we were cool. We talked about stuff. He would vent to me, talk about his girlfriend at the time, or sometimes uh his divorce, and I'm not gonna go on deep into it, but like he had it tough, man. He had it tough, and I totally understood. And yeah, so it just seemed to me that he was still going under a lot of like um not so much pressure, but like depression. And um so I was always trying to like try to relieve the stress by always doing my job, always being at it, always asking questions. um Sometimes I wouldn't get emails. Actually, most times I wouldn't get emails from the office about what we're going to do the next day. So I'd always ask him, oh, what are we doing, how many stuff or material do I need to get going? And he would always tell me that we were cool. But there was a point where I started to be late all the time for work, and it was mainly because these job sites, they were always asking us, was over like about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from me. And it was mainly because of traffic, and it messed me up, man. Like because I'm also doing side hustles, so I'd sleep late, and I have to wake up by like 5:30 at least. That's what I would do. And I just started to push back, wake up at 6 and always be late. And it was pain, man. It was pain for sure. That's why over time I just started to see like this job wasn't worth it, especially for the amount that they were paying me. And I had a bachelor's degree of engineering, civil engineering, and the amount that I was getting paid, it just wasn't worth it. But I still did it for the experience. And so yeah, I would always be late, and he at first was kind of bothered by it, but then he told me it's fine if you're 15, 20 minutes late, but just make sure that I'm doing everything. And I would do everything, but there was one point where he got upset that I wasn't like prepared because I forgot a tool. And so he like went off on me, and I told him like that's fine, I'm sorry, like won't happen again. And it didn't happen again. Um Maybe there'll be a couple times where I mess up with other things, but for the most part, I had my A game. But he would always like over time, he would always make me do everything, and I'd always sometimes forget towards the end of my time there because I went unemployed two weeks ago basically. And yeah, it was just so much pressure. He was always strict. He like started having like mood swings. And yeah, he just at the I think it was 2 weeks ago on Tuesday. um yeah, he basically went off on me again, basically saying like, I don't want you to be late. Um, and side note, sometimes he was always late by an hour compared to the time that I actually, um, to the time that I'm late by. So sometimes he would actually be an hour late. And point is, yeah, he went off on me saying, "Don't be late. You're always late. You're always on your phone." I don't know where he got that from. You ask too many questions, and I told him literally that I ask him because I just trying to be ready. That's There's nothing more to it, but I guess for him it pissed him off more. um And I told him straight out in his face, like, you know what, I understand that you want me to be prepared, but you put me in these like stressful conditions at times with your moods that it's kind of like it makes me uncomfortable. And he found that offensive. And you know what? After that day, like we just parted ways. Um, he gave me a 1 month probation, and basically what it was not working for about a month, which made me mad because that's money that I used to feed my kids and my wife. So yeah, that's what ended up happening. And then later that night, it was on Tuesday. Um, my boss number one calls me basically asking why I was late, um, why am I not doing my job right? That apparently there was a he had reports about me being late all the time, me being on my phone, uh, me not looking like I want to be there. My head was always elsewhere, which was never true. I was literally always trying to like make sure that I did everything I could just so he could be like, fine. And to me, in his words, he thought I caused him more stress. He said that he never trusted me, my party chief. So I was like, you know what? Like it felt at that point that my relationship with him was really burnt more than what I even knew. I didn't even know that all these things was happening behind my back. That he was sending reports to my boss, and yeah, so that happened. Um, and my boss basically called me later that night, telling me all this, saying that I'm not I'm not well suited for the job, and also my party chief said the same thing, that he thinks I'm not suited for the job, and that maybe I should look elsewhere. And my boss also told me the same thing, saying that basically that they don't need me, straight up, and they said it's better to go find a job. But they said, oh, my boss said, oh, but put in your 2 week notice, which was basically firing me without actually trying to fire me. Um, and at that point, I was so done with it. It was just drama. I said, you know what, screw it. There's so much bad blood here, like negativity, that it just wasn't worth it anymore, man. So I just told him, I'm gonna put in my 2 week notice. And the following day, they literally basically paid me for the 2 weeks that I was going to work for the company. Sorry. Um, and let me go that next day. So they really wanted to get me off. So that's what it looked like to me. So it sucked, man. It sucked knowing all that was happening because I trusted my party chief. We would always, tell each other jokes or tell us what's happening in our lives, and yeah, I felt kind of backstabbed. And I would say like, oh, I hate the dude and blah blah blah. Honestly, I don't even hate him at all. Um, I even wished him like a thank you for helping me and helping me out for everything, and yeah, he never responded to that either, to that text message. So that's on him, honestly. But yeah, I don't even actually hate the dude. I'm just disappointed in him. Like, I didn't even get warnings or anything from him, really, or even from my boss. Um, so it sucked, but it was meant. I think it was meant to be, man. It just had to happen, and I will go into I'll do a follow up on this follow up video on this because it's getting a little too long. But yeah, just to make things short, it was meant to happen. I had already planned, and faith just forced it, for me. So yeah, it's one heck of a story. Um, I would have loved to go a little bit deeper in it, but for the time that I'm trying to make these videos, to the time frames, it seems like it's not really fitting. But yeah, if I'll just do a part two for it. If you guys are interested in the story or loving the content, or if there's things that you guys suggest, feel free to put it in the comments. Uh, any feedback I'd really love, because I would love to start doing better quality videos, but for now I'm just starting off. I gotta get something out there. So other than that, thank you guys for watching. Hope you subscribe, and peace out, guys.